Hi guys, I hope you are doing well on your side. I keep saying I hope you're doing well, but you get what I'm saying. Yes. Okay, so I promised you that I am going to do the video for 17.2. Okay, so with the 17.2 activity, I'm just gonna go through it, all of it. Okay, so let's see how you will have to approach it. Okay. So here they're saying, okay, I'm not going to go through that choose correct term in the bracket, write only the term. Okay. So I feel like those are the things that you can do the day before an exam or maybe the week of the exam, then you can start doing all the like a theory parts of the questions. But when it comes to workings and calculations, these are things that you can't do the day before or during the exam period. You get it? You need to find a strategy that works for you and start working towards getting good results. You get it? Obviously, theory is important. That is why on like 2 days before or 3 days before the exam, then you can like immerse yourself deeply in mastering your theory. You get it? It's easy to do it, but with the work and the application of like calculations and all of that, you need more time to do that. Hence, I'm also doing this video. Okay, with that said, I am just going to, let me see. Okay, going to go through this activity. Okay, I just want to find a way if I can just switch off my video and then go through the content. But let's see if that's the option. Okay, let's continue and see how things work out. So they say part two here. I'm just gonna go down. Let's see. So the saying here, complete the ledger account, close off properly at the end of the year on 29 February 2020. Raw material stock. Okay, so this should have been part of this here. Yeah. Okay, in any case, so we have to do the raw material stock account, which is 9 marks, and then we have to do the work in progress, finished goods, and then the factory overhead. So if you are maybe in an exam situation, and in the exam situation, they're expecting you to do these accounts, I always advise learners that before they even go through the other accounts, I like please do the factory overhead first. So do the factory overhead first, and then once you're done with your overhead, then you can move on to your work. What is it? Your raw material stock account. So you can either start with your raw material stock account or your factory overhead account. It's impossible for you to start with your work in progress as well as your finished goods. You get it because those are dependent on other accounts. Okay. With that said, let's see if you were to do the factory overhead account, we're starting off with the factory overhead because I always feel like it's easy. You don't have an opening balance or closing balance. You get it. You just need to have enough information to finish it off. So here I will start off with, I can see there's already indirect material. Remember, when we deal with our factory overhead account, we usually look at everything that is indirectly related to the factory. So anything that is indirectly related to the factory will be considered as part and parcel of our factory overhead. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the indirect material because it seems like it's an obvious one that I can start off with. Okay, so I had already started with this, so don't mind this information. Okay, so start with indirect material. Okay, indirect material. Okay, I have noticed there obviously that there's an opening balance and a closing balance of the indirect material. So the standard way on how you can calculate it, you usually say opening opening plus during the year minus end of the year, and then you get the amount that you're looking for. Okay, so with the opening, then what happened during the year, and what are we left off with at the end? So here at the top here, I don't want to move around. So here at the top here, you can see here we are given two balances. So let's see Oh, okay. So another thing also here is that obviously now we know that the accounting period starts on the 1st of March 2019 and ends on the 29th of February 2020, which means that the opening balance is 10,800 and then the closing balance is 8,500. Okay, let's work it out. So 10,800, 10,800. Okay, that's my opening. Okay, I'm just gonna say plus whatever. I don't know what I'm gonna get there, but I'm just gonna put in there the missing and then closing off with 8,500. Okay, so okay, let's continue. I'm like, if I'm in an exam situation and I know time is isn't, then I'm gonna do it like that. Okay, and then I move on to what? Move on to find now the indirect material that is there. And then they're telling me that purchases indirect material was 40,000. Okay, just before I move on to the next page, I noticed there's something here. They say half of the indirect materials were used in the factory. So half of them were for the factory. The rest of them were probably for another department, which means that we have to take that in account. Here, say 40,000, put 40,000 as my what happened during the year. Okay. And then do what? Close off this. And then after doing this in brackets, then I'll say times what? Times half, because half of it is for the factory, right? And they say half of it was used in the production process in the factory, right? So we usually look at the used, how much of this was used. Okay, so now with this information, then I'll say 10,800 plus 40,000 minus 8,500, and I get 42,300. So 42,300 divided by 2, and I get 21,150. 21,150. This is my indirect materials account that I have here. Okay, so now I am in the position to complete this thing, right? Okay, let's move on to the next thing that we need to take into account. Okay, so we've taken off indirect material, carriage, and purchases have nothing to do with this account. Okay, and then we have rent expense. So rent expense is an indirect expense that impacts what? The factory. So here they're telling us that the rent expense is 90,800. What else is said about the rent? Okay, so 6 here, they've given us information that we can work with. Okay, let's just highlight this. I like highlighting because then I know that I'm done with this. And yeah, so rent expense includes rent for March. So remember, our accounting period starts on the 1st of March 2019, and it ends on the 28th of February 2020. However, the rent that we are given there includes March. Does March has anything to do with this current accounting year? No. You get it. So we need to somehow take it out. It has nothing to do with this year. However, it's already included in the rent amount for this year. You get it. It's a prepayment. We paid in advance. We paid more than what we're supposed to pay. So all I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna say I'm looking for 12 months. You get it. What am I given? I am given 13 months of rent. You get it. So I just do that 90,800 times 12 divided by 13. And obviously the number it has like decimals and all of that, but it's okay. That's what I'm given, and that's what I'm going to use. So it's 83,815. And then the next step now, it's what? They're telling us that there was no increase in the rent during the financial year. So that is why I made it easy. And then they say rent is proportionally allocated to the various departments according to the floor spaces. Factory is 600 meters squared. You get it. So I'm just going to say, okay, so they've allocated all the other spaces according to the meter squares, right? 600 meter squares is for the factory. And then admin is 250, the other one. So all I'm going to do is that what is related to the factory divided by the total of all the spaces. So 600 plus 250 space plus 150. You should be able to get, let me see, 3, 4. You should be able to get 1,000. Yes. So I'm just going to take this as it is and plug it in as part of my calculations on the other side. because we all learn differently. Some people want to see the here physically, otherwise it won't make sense. So rent expense. Okay, so well, expand. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this and then put in my workings. Oh, it's big, but yeah, it does the job. Awesome. Okay, and that's it. So what I'm gonna do now, let's figure out then how much is the rent that is related to the factory. Okay, okay. So then I'll say times 600 divided by 1,000, and I'm getting 50,289. Yes, so this is our rent expense amount for this. Okay, so then we can be in a space of working out indirect wages. Okay, so I can see here there's indirect wages, and they're telling us a lot of interesting information here. So let's see if we can just read it out. So indirect wages. So we have six casual workers, worker cleaners, okay, for factory at 50 rand per hour. Okay, I'm just gonna find a space and see if I can do it down here. Yeah, I don't want this. I want it out, out, out. Okay, it's gone. Okay, so now I'm doing my calculations for the factory workers. Okay, they say six casual workers, so I'm going to put six there and then multiply it by 50 rand per hour, right? And then they're saying each worker they worked 192 hours. Okay, so this is what I have here. This is the normal hours, I'm assuming. Okay, and then they are also telling us that three of them, then I'll say three of them plus three of them did what? They work 40 hours times 40 hours. Okay, at the normal rate plus 50. So at the normal rate, so normal rate is 50%, is 50 rand. Okay, so 50 rand, but they say times plus 1.5. So I'm just going to say 1.5. 1.5 because they say normal rate plus 50%. So this is like 100% plus the extra. So it's just multiplied by 1.5. Okay. So three people, 40 hours, 50 rand. So I'm just going to say times because it's money. We cannot add money with units. Okay, and then just close this off here, close this off here, and then total. Okay, so this is the calculation in a nutshell. So if I do the 6 times 50 times 192, I get 57,600. Then plus 3 times 40 times 50 times 1.5, and I get 9,000. Okay, so plus 9,000 rand. So this is basically the calculation that I need for the indirect labor, which means that I can copy this and go back to my here indirect labor. And then in my indirect labor, I'm just going to paste what I've worked out the other side. Okay, exactly. Okay, so this is how it looks like, which means that then our final answer here, it should be 66,660. So this is the answer here. Remember, at any point in time while you're watching this video, you are more than welcome to pause the video and do the workings yourself. Okay. So this is what I have in my indirect labor. Let's see what else I need to take into account. I've already highlighted this because I'm done with it. Okay. And then here they're telling us salaries and wages. Salary of the factory manager, 250,000. And then they say salary of the factory workers. So factory workers are what? Are direct. They have nothing to do with our factory overhead. Okay, so I'm going to leave this information, this gibberish for now. But I know that the 250,000 factory manager has everything to do with our factory overhead. So factory manager, 250,000. I don't have to put in the rent value because, yeah. Okay, so this is how it looks like here. Now I have my factory manager. Okay, so now I am looking if there's anything else that I should have taken into account, but I have not taken into account. And if it is there, then I can see if I can work it, like put it there. Okay, so there is something here. I'm just going to go straight to individually just because. So we've taken care of the direct materials, um, the indirect materials, we've taken care of it. Advertising has nothing to do with the factory. Okay. And then we have rent expense. Rent expense has been taken care of. What is left is depreciation. So what are they saying about depreciation? They've given us two depreciation, one for delivery vehicles and one for factory equipment, which is 46,000. So we're just going to take the depreciation of 46,000. So depreciation, 46,000. Just by doing this, you are done. The only thing now we're gonna do is just add the debit side, obviously, because the debit side is bigger than the credit. Credit is basically nothing. It's just as like we will take that total into the work in progress. So 21,150, 50,289, 66,600, 250, 46,000. Okay, in my total here, I am getting 434,039. Okay, so this means that what? It means that our debit must be equals to our credit. So this 434,039. Same amount there, 434,039. Okay, so this amount, obviously, as soon as you're done with your work in progress, I advise you to just take it immediately as it is and you put it straight into your work in progress. So in the work in progress, I'm putting it as it is 434,039. Okay, so now we can move on to the next account. What do we need to take into account? Direct material. Okay, let's see if we can do the direct material. Actually, yeah, we can now even put. Okay, I see. You can. It's up to you. You can either start putting in the balances carried down or the balances brought down. It's up to you. Okay, depends on your strategy, whatever works for you, because those are obvious things like they don't need extra calculations. Okay, so work in progress, finished goods. Okay. Oh, I see here. We don't have the raw material stock account to do here. It's not there. Okay, it's okay. Let's find a way on how we can do it anyway. So I'm just going to take this one here and copy it. Okay, I just want to do it because it is an important account and people need to know how to do it. Okay, I'm gonna paste it here. Wow, don't know what happened here. Okay, I'm gonna name this my raw material stock account. Okay. Okay, so now we have a raw material stock account that we can work out here. So things should be slightly better. Okay, my apologies if you're hearing noise, then like kids are back from school. Okay, so let's see if we can just continue here and do the work here in any way. Okay, it's not a loss. We can still do this. Okay, just moving things around. Okay, yay, done. Okay, so this is our raw material stock account. So we will open with our balance. So say balance, it's brought down. And then we have a balance carried down here. So balance carried down. So balance brought down, balance carried down. And then let's see with the amounts that we are given here. Okay, so with this amount here, obviously, we might have an opening balance for the material that was bought. Okay, so the materials here, we have 200,000 opening balance and then 350,000 closing balance. So put in 200,000 here. Okay, 200,000, 350,000. Okay, and then we have that. And then now it seems like there was some raw material that was purchased during the year. As I can see down here, there is information to say purchases on credit, raw materials, 850,800. So it was purchased on what? On credit. So if we have purchased on credit, then we have what? We have creditors control. So creditors control. Okay, with the creditors control, it's 850,800. Just want to double check that one. 850,800. Okay, perfect. So is there anything else? Okay, so it's also other thing that was paid that was paid for. Carriage on purchases of raw materials paid. 47,500. Remember, if you find out that the question has carriage on purchases and carriage on sales, then you just need to know that you are focusing on what? On the carriage on purchases, right? Raw materials account has nothing to do with carriages on sales. Okay. So this is a carriage on purchase. So it means what we have to record it. So put in carriage on purchases. Usually here they've paid. It's for cash. So you can, yeah, you can just say carriage on purchases. On purchases. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like this. It's for cash. Then it's a bank, right? It's CPJ. Okay, and then it's 47,500. This is it's a CJ. Okay, so now I have more than enough information here. You get it. So it means what? My raw materials issued. Raw material issued would be on my, like it's always on my credit side, obviously. So now I have enough information to close off this account. How do I close it off? I have to add up my debit side. So 200,000 plus 850, 800 plus 47,500. And my total here is 1,098,300. So this total will be the total for the credit side as well. So 1,098,300. Okay, so let me see if I can highlight this. Okay, I've highlighted it. Okay, so now I can be able to work out my raw materials issued. So raw materials issued, I'll then say this amount minus 350,000 of a closing, and I get 748,300. Okay, so now I have what? I have my direct, this raw materials issued is actually my what? My work in progress. So this amount, I'll put it there. 748,300. That's my work in progress. So now I can move on to my direct labor. So direct labor, it seems like there's, yeah, it's straightforward, but there's extra information that we need to work with here. So let's take a look. So here we are given information to say summary of factory workers' earnings. So here there is what? These are the deductions, and then there's what? There is the net wages. So we need what? We need the gross wage. I repeat, if you are given a net wage, you need to find out how much is the gross wage. So to get the gross wage here, you have to do what? We say that net wages and add what? All add back all these three deductions. Okay, let's do it here and then we're just gonna copy and paste it to the other side. Okay, so 844,600. Okay, add back this the income tax pays and we add it back and then we add back what? We add the 9,600 to the UIF and then we add back what? Pension 78,800. Okay, and then you get a total there. So if I say 844,600 plus 140 plus 9,600 plus 78,800, you pause the video, you calculate on your own because just watching and not doing, it's not a way of learning. Okay, so 1,073,000. Oh, 1,073,000. Then in the calculation, then I have my gross. So usually I'll say the gross that is directed for the salaries plus what? What the employer is contributing. We usually call this the cost to company. Okay, so cost to employer plus 98,856. Okay, I'm adding it 97,856 and I get 1,170,856. So all I'm gonna do now to save time, I'm just gonna copy and wow, this is not working. It's copying the entire thing. Don't like it. Let's see how it looks like here. Paste without formatting. Oh, perfect. Yeah. So this is what I have in my calculations there. Put that in brackets for presentation. Okay, so if you work that one out on your side, 1,073,000 plus 97,000 and yeah, 500, 856. I get the 1,170,856, which means that now I am more like in a good position to finish off the work in progress. So I need my opening balance and my closing balance. So what is the opening balance of the WIP? Okay, so we're just going to go up. So work in progress here, 250,000, 480,000. Okay, 250,000 is opening, 250,000, 480,000. Okay, so now this is what I have here. So now the next thing that I'm gonna do here is to just figure out how much is my debit side. So to figure out how much is my debit side, all I have to do is to add my debit side. So how do I add my debit side? I'll just say 250,000 plus 748,300 plus 1,170,856 plus 440 and 34,039. And then what I'm getting is 2,603,195. You get it, which means that my debit must always be my equals to my credit. So I'm going to take the same amount and put it on my credit side. So this is where I am, or this is what I am sitting with here, the totals of both sides. Okay, so now my next step, obviously here, we need to figure out how much are the finished goods. So finished goods here, finished goods, stock account, it's up to you. Yeah, time for me. Yeah, so obviously now I'll just say the total minus 480,000. So 480,000 minus there, and then I get 2,123,195, which is what? Which is my finished goods. So these accounts, they should have been here 28 Feb 2020. Because I'm pretty sure that someone was asking themselves, what are the dates, ma'am? What do we put there? So March 2019. Yeah, so these are the opening dates. Okay. Okay, and then we are done here. Let's move on to the finished goods account. So the finished goods account, it must have an opening balance and a closing balance too. So I'm going to put this and paste it there. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought I had copied that answer there. It's okay. Let's put it like 2,123,195. Okay. So now we have the amounts here. And then let's figure out how much is the opening balance for the finished goods. Oh, this is exciting. We don't have a closing balance for this finished goods, but we have an opening balance. I love such activities. Just makes me excited. Anyway, 650,000 is the closing balance. Okay, so 650 it's a closing balance. So say balance carried down. Okay, this is on the 28th of Feb 2020. And this is the 1st of March 2019. Okay, so let's see here how much is the okay, 650. Yes, now I remember. Okay. So if you are given in a question like this where you find out that they haven't given you all the information that you need in order for you to be able to work out your cost of sales, then it means what? It means that there's also information that you can use to work around this, like the system, and get the answers. So if you find something like this whereby this maybe sometimes if it's not the opening balance, it's most likely to be the closing balance, whereby it's the puzzle that you have to find a way to solve. Okay, let's see if we can solve the puzzle. So usually here, I will look at my sales and look at my markup percentage to find out the cost and then work my way up to find, like, complete the entire thing. So here they've given us the what? They've given us the profit margin, the say profit margin of 60%. This profit margin is actually the same as a profit markup. So don't get confused. Like, my teacher only taught me like markup. Why now using a margin? Okay, so you say 3,580,400. Right, then times what? Times what am I looking for? I'm looking for the original 100% value without any like add on. You get it? What am I given there? I'm given a sales value. The sales value already has what? It's an inflated price, like the original 100% plus the 60%. You get it? So what I'm looking for is always at the top in terms of my fraction. What I have is usually at the bottom. Okay, so just putting that in my calculator, 3,580,400 times 100 divided by 160. And the answer that I'm getting is 2,237,750. So this is the answer that I'm getting here. So I'm just going to take it as it is here, copy, and then going to paste it for my cost of sales here. Okay, and then I'm putting it here, paste. Okay, so this is the answer here. So basically, we're saying the cost of sales that was generated for these goods that we produce is 2,237,750. You get it? So now I'm in a position to close off this account. In the logic sense, it's like it's impossible for me to start off closing off my debit side because my debit side still has something missing, but my credit side seems to be complete. So I'm just going to add my credit side and I'll say 2,237,750 plus 650,000. So I'll add those two together and I get 2,887,750. Okay, which means that my debit must always be equals to my credit. So I'm going to do the same even on my credit side. And 750. Okay, let me see if I can just presentation. Obviously, you don't have to do this in your exam. You don't have time. Okay, so now this is how it looks like. You get it. So now I can be like safely be able to find out then what is my opening balance. Okay, I'm just gonna highlight this because this is like the important thing that we're looking for. Let me use a green. Okay, so the answer here now, you will just take this total minus that work in progress. So minus 2,123,195. Okay, and then I am getting 764,555. Okay, so this is what I am getting here, which means that the puzzle that we're solving, the thing that we're looking for, is actually that amount that I got there at the top. Okay, I'm going to stop here and yeah, if you have questions, don't hesitate to just reach out in the comments below. Otherwise, I think yeah, just take your time to see for the moment and try and understand here what went on and what's happening here. Yeah. Just want to double check something here in the information. Okay, yeah, our thing is correct. Okay, thank you so much.